which is in the past. And parents, as a parents who has possessed many knowledge about experiences and they have possessed with many things, they think a lot before doing anything. And when they are considering about the children's life, always think in a current way, in a practical manner. But Barney and I think Barney and may not know about that. We have to the great example, we have to understand that the drug dealers in our society, mostly they are teenagers in our society, are the people who are distant from their parents or the elders. The people who are distant from their parents and elders are mostly committed to do these things like unwanted things and the drug dealing. So we have to understand that if the elders support is there, there will be no problem for the children. But when the children started to distant from the parents, they started to commit many things which are unwanted to our society. And this is happening in the society. As the opponent people, many people think that parents advices are always traditional and we don't have to follow them. As a result, nowadays many teenagers and many children are facing many challenges, unwanted challenges. I have to tell that not challenges, it's unwanted challenges and many tragedies. They have to face many tragedies like Marley in the Frost, Marley in the novel. And when we have and moreover, um, as Davian say that older generations are restricting, as I always argue that older generation is restricting the dreams of the children. As earlier, I have to tell that the parents are the like the trees who gives the soul to the forest. If there is no tree in the forest, there's no point of view to say that is a forest. And here we have to understand that without the parents supports, children's dreams are useless. Without the support of the parents, children's dreams can't get a point of view in their life. And when we move on to the argument of the vendor of sweets, we can understand that uh, the we have to understand. We can understand that the Mali faces a challenge as a financial instability because of the ignoring of the father, as he thinks that his father always say the stereotypical thinking, and his vendor of sweets working is something not very suitable for the modern society, as he has many ideas about the modern society. But we have to understand that Jahan, as a father, as a maternal father, who always think a lot about his child in a practical view. It's a difference between the between the older generation and the younger generation. Younger generation is less practical, whereas the older generations are more practical in their works, and older generations wants to do their works in a practical manner, and they have to think in that way. But as Mali, who's lacked with this feeling, he disagreed the job of his father's vendor of sweets, and he wants to do the job. He wants to do the job he wants, and finally we can understand the fate. We can understand his fate, as the strong ignorance of the father. Finally, in the latter part of the novel, the Mali went to the jail, and he has lost his rest of the livelihood because of the ignorance of the father. So we have to understand that fathers, elders are like the rope to the kite, who always uh, lead the correct path to their children. Um, why we are having the rope to the height, we have to think about it. If there's no rope in the kite loses its destination, the direction. The kite loses its strong destination. And here also the parents comes as a rope to the kite, who always make their children to get a great path, great journey of the success. So again and again, I strongly believe that parents' support is the most significant, has a most significant effect in each and every activities of the children, and they shape the world of the children. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnavi, for your wonderful debating. Next, I would like to call Bonian to start his debate.
Good evening, everyone. Today, again, I welcome you all to the debate. I am going to represent the field of children who are more imaginative, and the older generation are seem to be lack knowledge, and even though they have experience, they are not aware to the modern society. As far as our opposite leader Arnavi mocks at our arguments, he is only concerned about a kite which is connected to a rope. But I and Davian are trying to not fly a kite, but we are trying to fly a rocket in the sky, not like the adults. The as for the Arnav says that the kites are only connected to the ropes. I strongly believe that he is also represents the elder generation who only conform in a circle. So that even though the fly can't only fly in the upper sky for a limit, the we we are trying to make the even more to this upper sky. I swear that I strongly believe that the older generation are better than the elder generation, because the older generation are like to fly not a kite or but a rocket in the overall sky, so that the expectations are not limited to the surface level of the earth, not like a kite. Moreover, as Harnavi says that the younger generations are addicted to the drugs, and moreover they are suiciding in this modern society. I strongly believe that the reason for this suicide is the older generation, because nowadays the older generations are concerned in this trying to get benefits from the childrens. As they grown up, they will manage to earn money for them, so that even a figurative way it is seem to be a selfish manner, as they are trying to educate their childrens and pushing them to pass the exam like O levels and A levels, so that due to their emotional disturbance and psychological disagreement are seem to be the main reason for the younger generation to commit suicide and addicted to drugs. So that I strongly believe that the old generation are the total responsibility for the reason for why the younger generation are getting worried and seem to be like in daily news there are some suicides in all over the world. Like even though in a literary way it seem to be that the older generation are seem to be wrong, but in a figurative way in which if we see in a deep way the elders who control the older generation in a harsh way, and they are pushing them to pass the exams in a harsh way, so that due to their argument or the punishment they might have done this wrong path. As in the father and son, as Devian also said that at the end the son has chosen a wrong path at the end due to the, I strongly believe that due to the father's repeated utterance advice. We know that if advice is repeated many times, it should be uh, concerned in a psychological way that the son is concerned and trying to cry or trying to leave away from the house, so that the uh, even though they says that the younger generations are immature and they have less experience, but should ask him that don't judge a book by its cover, because do you think that the younger generation are immature and a lack of knowledge? But in the fear also, the mother thinks that the daughter will be separated from the him, and moreover it is seem to be a selfish because even though the daughter gets the opportunity to be the princess or the queen, or the who are the authorized people in the whole world, then mother neglects all over the authorized and the comfort life, and ask him to sleep in the stewed bed, which seem to be the poverty and the poor life of the lower class of the people. Even though the daughter gets the opportunity to be the upper class, the mother, who is the neglecting character, blocks the opportunity of the daughter, seem to be the main reason why here the fear seem to be the main poem which under the theme of generation gap. So I strongly believe that the mother uh, brings up the conflict of generation gap between the daughter who tries to become golden slippers, which symbolizes luxury and comfortable. Eh, Here also the mother neglects the who represents the elder generation, so that I strongly believe that elder generations are not always true in figurative way. And directly in these two poems, the father and son and fear, the uh, younger generation are seem to be uplifted than the older generation. As the other opponent says that the eagle is like seeing the sea as a crawling, but he's it says in a vice versa, because eagle is an authoritative person, and he seems to be the see as a crawling bag. It should be a vice versa, because the all elder generation should be the authorized people who controls the younger generations, and so that he has mistaken the idea of the poem eagle, so that I strongly disagree this argument. As far as in the lumber room also, he says that it is a healthy food, uh, the bread and milk. But do you eat a healthy food to with the frog in it? So it is a silly thing that eating a bread and milk with the frog. Do you eat in your breakfast or in a dinner? So that you seem to be a strange person, or I can also say that you are a strange eater who eats frogs as healthy for a healthy manner, so that it is also can't be afflicted as the adults thinks that it is healthy for the children. So that even though Nicholas says that there is a frog, that adults doesn't care about that, they only thinks that it should be disgrace for them to put a frog in the children's bowl, so that the aunt only thinks about his nature and uh, only about himself, not about others. So that I strongly disagree the two opponents' arguments. As far as the Devigan opponent, the Devigan's arguments are really true, and I also support his answers because they are the true. I strongly and again I strongly believe that these are the arguments I give to the whole committee in this debate. As far as these children are always correct and the elders are not always correct. Thank you.
Thank you, Banian, for your debating. Next, I would like to call Kayali to start her debating.
Again, a very good evening to you all. As Devigan told, elders prevent a child from the challenges, but they don't prevent us from all challenges. They challenge us, which cannot be accepted by us, like earning. As the Barnian says, if if he can earn, but I don't know. If you want to earn, you want to study A level or O level. If if didn't you study, you want to be like a loader. Do you like that? I don't think so. When the phone interfere in children hand, that's the way all bad behaviors came. When it was in parents hand, that's not affect the society more, I think so. I don't know where that's mentioned. Children are immature. I and my partner is not. I and my partner are not told that, but in your mind, you think children are immature. That's your problem, not ours. Mm, you says eagle as an athletic person, but you told that don't judge a book by its cover. Like that, why doesn't be a child as a athletic people? Uh, in the farewell to balance second tree, here the two sons are on their privacy that made the conflict between them for a girl, and one died for her and one got guilty for her. As like that in beer, the Luca, who's the oldest, whose old servant, he advises become true. Like that, the Popova loves with Simino. This, um, this is by their experience, because they come over this age. So their experience is not um, their experience are not to children. Mm. In the breakfast also, if there is a um, elder to advise them, the conflict will not be goes for a long. In the wave, when Sonali show a mysterious wave, she immediately like to serve children, and she called her for a far when she was a child to her parents, but the elder liked that to prevent her child before the parents. That's the mentality of the elders. Their mentality like that the children is important to in their life. In the once upon a time, the father advises the son to don't make you change in your life. That's the advice here. Don't make you change in your life in the modern society. Be like how do you behave in your child. Here our topic is not the elders always right. Our topic is the elders are right, children have to obey them. In your hand, every 5 fingers are like being as one. Like that, elders are correct, but not always they are correct. I'm finishing this my argument in this point, sir.
Thank you, Carly, for your debating. Next, I would like to call Devikan to do his debate with.
Good evening again, everyone. Now I'm going to summarize this debate and end our topic. That I'm strongly believing in our topic that adults are not always correct. And it seems like our opponent Kyrie is supporting us because she said that adults are not always correct. We are also emphasizing that. And she also uh, said about the relation between Popova and Smirnov, but they are not children. That drama doesn't relate with the children, and we can take the children's. We can blame the children's in accordance with their drama. It's silly. And she also said that in the way Sonali saved her children, and it's like an act of motherhood. I also said that it's also an act of motherhood. But that same Sonali left her parents in the room. Unexplained. It's unexplainable. We can explain about that. Will you? No, we can, because she saved her children, but the same adult left her parents uh, in the back. And also, as Barnajan said, that eagle is an authoritative phenomenon. It's perfectly correct, because the eagle is just seeing from its view, and if it is seeing from its view, and it's just seeing that uh, uh, seeing the ocean as a crawling baby, but if it comes near to the ocean, it can't stand out, because ocean's power is unexplainable and it's infinity. And like that, like that, the adults, if the adults come closer and come closer and uh, come closer with the children, they can understand their potential to shape a new life. And they will also learn that their dreams are always uh, are practical. And the children, in all the topics that I spoke, the children are not disrespecting the father. And in the father and son, the son is not disrespecting the father. And also in the father to son, by uh, Elizabeth Jennings. And here the son is not also disrespecting the father. The main problem is the lack of communication and the generation gap between them. And the adult seems like authoritative